Welcome to It All Boils Down to This, the podcast where father and son take the kitchen table arguments and heated discussions from their home directly to yours. Jim and Jack Boyle will explore the world as only they can. We might even let a few guests join the fun. So sit back, choose a side, watch the water temperature rise, and enjoy stimulating generational conversation about sports and life. Welcome to episode 36 of It All Boils Down to This. We got a lot going on today. Jack is joining me, of course. We got some guests, hopefully two guests. Definitely going to have Jay Trev to do his mock draft analysis where the pages are. As you can see, I got myself a new shirt from AD Dennis Ingram. This is the Wildcat, our 01877. Also want to give a shout out to my guys, Nolan Joyce, Noah Spencer, Eric Spinney, and Michael Dinan, who were with me at the beginning of my coaching career. They're finishing up their senior year. So shout out to those guys. Jack, welcome in. Hopefully we'll have an exciting show. Once we get Jay Trevor, we're going to let us talk about. I want to kick you off with your boy, Scottie Scheffler, again dominant. I've been wrong 2 weeks in a row, so I have to admit I'm wrong on the air.
The funniest thing is your brother's the same way. He's like, well, I bet against him the next tournament because what he's doing is so impossible. It's like, yeah, but he keeps doing it. Like, if you keep betting again, you keep losing. I mean, he's too good right now. It's like they say with people used to, I guess, the quote with Tiger. It's like, if he putts well, he'll win. If he doesn't putt well, he'll be in contention. And that's just what he's doing right now. He's either winning or he's finishing top five.
Right, and and he's been. I have to say that he shot a 63 on Saturday, so he's good. So eventually, I'm sure. I know he's not playing this week because this week is the thing down in New Orleans where it's like team play, and I'm sure he'll be back a week or two. Take a week off. The baby.
Well, he has to have the baby. Yeah,
baby's supposed to come this week. Right, 25th.
Well,
Friday.
The thing is though, with what he's doing in golf right now is it should. I know the Masters had terrible ratings and all that. The PGA, there should be a huge storyline around him coming into this tournament. And I've been saying this for a while. Like I really want him to win this tournament.
I agree. The PGA is going to have Koepka versus Scheffler. I mean, it's everything.
Koepka's don't. That's so insulting to Scheffler right there. To even
Koepka won last year.
I don't care.
He's a defending champion.
Still don't care. Scheffler's going to kick his ass. I mean, kick his ass. I don't think those two like each other that much, even though they played together. And remember when they played together and it was like the worst Ryder Cup loss in the history of Ryder Cups.
This is true.
So we'll see going in. It's honestly, it's the most excited I've been going into a major for a while now because just the storyline. If he wins, he's starting to have one of the greatest years in the history of golf. If he wins, because he's not even halfway. If he wins the PGA, he's not even halfway done with this season. It's already one of the best seasons ever. Because he'll already have 5 wins.
Well, he's got to get to 10.
No, he's not going to get to. He doesn't have to get to 10. He has to get to. Realistically, what he has to do is get to 3 majors. I think if he gets 2 majors, that's a phenomenal year. That's how I look at it. It's tough. Yeah, people have done 2 majors before. Not many people. 3 never happens.
Right.
Did it happen more than once, twice?
I'd have to look back, but Tiger's last one to do it when he did the Tiger Slam 2001. Hey,
that's all that matters about golf right now.
Talking about it, we'll stop golf. April, we got our loyal listener Brian Kane sent me an email the other day, and he does say April's the greatest month, sports month. Everybody argues, but a lot going on. You know, he said you got baseball starting, the Masters, you have football draft, which we're going to talk about. You have the NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, NCAA tournament. So I just want to give a shout out to Brian, a loyal listener. He's been around. I got to get him on there. I hear it. The rumor is he is coaching the Orioles in Little League again for probably like the 40th year. So, and he's like 49. So he's doing pretty good for himself.
He's Bill Russell, a player coach.
Yeah, he was like 18 or 19 when he took over that team.
He's drafting himself.
No, he always drafts well. I have a couple kids playing for me that play for him. So
how many titles he got? He's got a couple titles, right?
Oh, he's probably got 5, 8, 10. Out of those, it's tough to win. There's only 4 teams now, though, Jack. You played with 8. There's only 4.
Yeah, it was way better. It was more there was more theater. More theater.
Hey, that brings me to the baseball, the Sox. We're going to touch on them real quick. I know that some of the guys on your fantasy team have been hurt. We have catches. What's going on?
I don't care about the I don't care. What do you mean? Injuries happen. Baseball players got injured. That never happens. It's just that's baseball every year. They say there's stats. Even the Tommy John. It's the same thing as recent years. All the things. Yeah, it just sucks. Tristan Cashes. He's gonna be out for a while. They said he fractured something, so he's out for a long time. So the Red Sox, I can't even be bothered to watch because I would watch the Red Sox. It was like Devers and Cashus, like Duran. I like to watch.
Right, right.
I mean, they're all gone. Devers has been, I mean, he's been hurt basically the whole year, and like he's done nothing. So the Red Sox are useless. Baseball's. I got my fantasy team. I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying the baseball season. Everyone likes to complain about it. Like you're all, oh, what's going on with the injuries? I don't care. I'm enjoying.
So okay, let's real quick. What's the best news the Red Sox have shown us this year?
Well,
The
they've
quality
won. Their
starting
pitching,
pitching?
their pitching's been great, but yeah, that's not gonna last. I mean, look, baseball's they play 6 months for a reason. They're not gonna have the
Correct.
best year. I'll tell you what, in September when the year's over, they will not have the best team ERA. They won't or starter ERA. They won't.
I don't think so either, but again, it's a positive to look forward to. We got something going on. I look at that lineup, that's freaking triple A lineup. Jesus, what are we watching? Connor Wong hitting fifth, Valdez hitting second. This is just a nightmare for Cora and actually for everyone. And now that everybody's hurt, their 40-man roster is so compact that they're gonna have to cut people to bring guys up to actually play at the major league level. So a tough first year for our good friend down there, Craig Breslow. But he's again, you can't be negative if they're winning more than they're losing. They're playing great on the road. They suck at home. We'll have to try to figure that one out. We'll talk about it at home. Switching over to the NBA. Celtics completely dominated. I know you were out golfing and we were watching sporadically. Completely dominated, and then Cleveland is now dominating Orlando. So it looks like I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but I think your prediction was right about these first two rounds of the playoffs for the Celtics.
Yeah. I think Orlando, I saw something they're like 17 for 72 from three, so that's not going to cut it at all in the NBA. So, yeah, that. The Celtics, who cares? It's such a useless series. There's just such a talent discrepancy there. I didn't even watch the game, but I could have told you that was going to happen. Wednesday night, they're going to kill them. I don't even know the schedule. The series is probably going to be over by the time we talk next in the next podcast. The only thing we're talking about.
You're scratching against your
whatever. Okay. I don't
zip it all the way up.
So I don't care about those games. It's more of the Knicks Sixers series. Everyone talking. Stephen A, who was sitting right there. Remember I pointed him out?
Yeah.
He was saying that was a mugging. He fouled him like crazy. He's a Knicks fan. But that's an interesting series. We can talk about that. And then the West, I haven't watched like the late games and the Denver Lakers things, and it's every time. I saw Lakers and LeBron fans were complaining. This is
again.
No. Forget the fouls and all that. They were complaining about how they were like, geez, we have to play a championship contender in the first round. It's like, it's because you're the seventh seed. Yeah.
Two things I want to ask you about. The Sixer game, which you and I watched that end, was just a disaster for the Sixers. Brunson had been 1 for 8 or 1 for 7 from the free and just shooting a crappy game. Somehow, a miracle of physics, that ball hits the front edge of the rim and bounces. He must have had a good spot. Bounces up and hits the three. And then they mug Maxey. Coach Nurse is trying to call timeout. The officials ignore him. Maxey, stupid, doesn't call timeout. Ball bounces around. They can't pick a rebound. Embiid is not healthy. You could tell on that rebound. He didn't have enough. He couldn't bend over and grab it. And then DiVincenzo hits the three. But there's still opportunity twice. And what is going on? Why is Embiid, who's the reigning MVP, never touched the ball in 2 possessions? I think that's more of an indictment on the Sixers than choking the way of the 5-point lead.
I don't know, and they have like the best coach in the NBA, one of the great minds of the NBA. Again, if the Celtics did that and they're like,
they'd be annihilated.
Like, imagine that, like the way they'd be getting talked about right now. And I'm sure they're talking about it. Like, the thing is, though, I feel like Philly talk radio, they'll give like Embiid a pass a lot. I feel like not a lot of people just slam Embiid. And again, Embiid's, I've said it the whole year. He's getting screwed by his organization. He should have just been shut down the whole year. They're almost better off than losing now. Just get ready for next year. He's getting screwed by having to play, and it looks bad on him. But again, he's not getting much criticism, so who cares?
I think it's a matchup issue with the Sixers and the Knicks. Knicks aren't big, and they just one thing I've noticed, and they talk about this on the broadcast, is offensive rebounds. They're dominating because they don't rebound; they tap it back out. So eventually, somebody's going to scout that, and that tap won't work. And to tap it to the wrong guy, have a break the other way. But I thought that Nick Nurse, I know he tried to call timeout, but if you're going to have the best player on the floor, and they do, Embiid is the best player on the floor, he's got to touch the ball in the closing minutes. And if he misses, he misses. I think he missed the 3-pointer at the buzzer, but that's irrelevant. On to the West Coast Lakers. All I wake up to, LeBron has his post-game preference. He walks out and says the officials suck. Well, we know the officials suck. and that wasn't a foul. It was about how do they overturn it? What do they watch? If he doesn't stop bitching, just play. If you lose, you lose. They had a 20-point lead they blew. So that tells me they are not a championship competitive driven team. And Jokic just dominated. But again, the other game that I didn't get to see, but New Orleans won. Who'd they beat? No, who played OKC? New Orleans played OKC.
Thunder?
Yeah, and they lost by 2 at home, Thunder. So NBA is a crapshoot. I think the Celtics are a really good matchup against Miami.
The Thunder won. The Thunder beat the Pelicans.
Yeah, the Pelicans only lost by 2.
Lost by 2. Okay, yeah.
And then back to Celtics. Celtics match up really well with the Knicks. They match up really well with Cleveland. They match really well with Miami. And in reality, if Giannis doesn't come back, they would match up really well.
Yeah, dude. Okay, there's not a team they don't like. Even the Nuggets, who are good, they still match up good with them. It's like there's not a team they don't match up good with. What don't they have? They can shoot and they have size. They match up good with. If you can play defense, or forget even playing defense. That's almost to do with size. If you have size and you can shoot, you're gonna match up with anyone.
Correct. And I think again, they just have to maintain. Don't get cocky. Don't get over. Don't go when they had trouble in the game against Miami when they went ISO stuff again. When they spread the floor, I don't think there's a team that can beat them if they spread the floor, even if they're not hitting 100% of their shots. That second on is the officiating, which I think is horrible anyway. You know who I think Scott Foster was officiating the Laker game. So bring up him again.
Did he? I feel like I saw Scott Foster on Madison Square Garden game 1.
Was he the Madison Square Garden? Oh, so
I think he was. Yeah, but it wasn't not game 2. That was not Scott Foster. You would have heard Scott Foster's name more if that was game 2.
Game 2,
and they didn't make that call. When I thought that was I thought that was. But yeah, the officiating is the officiating. It's no again. You think it's horrible and all, but it's no different than it was last year or the year before. Really,
right. I think they're funny. They were like letting them play and not letting. It depends. Sometimes they let them bang, like in that Knicks game, the final 30 seconds, and sometimes they call ticky tack stuff. So it's just. I'm seeing if I get to who the official here. Hold on, they don't have that in the box.
It doesn't matter. Who cares who the official was? Yeah, whatever.
Scott Foster was the official.
Oh well, they got him up. And maybe I saw him. I don't think I probably saw him at the guard. Maybe.
So the NBA is off and running. I remember we were watching the Bruins last night, and again we don't do a lot of Bruins talk here. You come in the room and said Austin Matthews hasn't done a damn thing, and then he scored. You come back in the room and say, hey, he just scored the game-winning goal. Again, they're a good team, but they're not. I don't think they're a contender. Watching them. They don't shoot the puck, and they don't. It's weird. And what's going on with the switching goalies? 2 goalies. Just play Swayman or play Olmark and make a decision. And now the coach has an out because he's trying something different. But you watched some of that game. Were you not impressed with Mr. Matthews?
Well, the first game he sucked. He missed an empty net the first game, so I was like going to make it my thing. I'm going to be a hater of this guy. I got people saying he's going to end up being the greatest American hockey player ever. He scored 69 goals in the regular season. He missed an empty net basically against the Bruins in game 1. But yeah, last night in a big situation, he got the puck, got a breakaway, and he scored 69 goals. You should score in that situation, but he did in the third period with like 5 minutes left to go up a goal. Down 1 to win the game on the road, so that's a big goal. And then he made what I saw a really heads-up play on a loose puck when the Bruins had the goalie pulled. They had the goalie pulled for about a minute and a half. They got a decent amount of chances. They got a really good chance one, and the puck kind of was like underneath the goalie next to the goal, and no one really the goalie didn't know where it was. And Matthews was right there and tucked it under the goalie's pads and kept it from anyone getting a rebound and scored. So that was a real good heads-up play with him. So I'm not going to hate on him anymore. I like that he scored and he's also making the plays like that. And I don't know anything about hockey.
We are very short on hockey knowledge here. Well, at some point, if the Bruins would make the Stanley Cup Finals, we're gonna have to get somebody on here who knows what they're talking about.
Well, Kevin was at the game and he's a regular on this.
Who was at the game?
Kevin was at the game.
Kevin was at the game. Yeah. Is he calling in today or not?
Nah, I don't think so. I think he's still working. Yeah.
All right. Good. My favorite subject was fantasy domination because I do have to give myself.
Who cares? Yeah.
I do need to pat myself on the back. I destroyed you by like 200 points. Don't give me that crap.
My team's a disgrace. There was like this chart. Wait, I gotta find it. So no, I don't have it on this phone because I got a new phone. But there was a chart. It was like lowest expected batting average or whatever. And Nolan Jones #1. Castellanos is like 4. I'm dropping Castellanos, but my team, they just suck. So I don't care. You did, yeah, good for you. Whatever. We'll see in the playoffs. Yeah, again, like we said, you haven't won the live ball there. All right, what's next? Are we going to football soon?
Yeah, we got one more thing, and I just because I find this hilarious because the Porter family is a bunch of idiots.
Oh, Jesus.
Michael Porter Jr. said that his teammates had him after the tough day he had. Well, he had a tough day because his brother got busted for gambling and is gone for the ever in NBA. And his other brother was drunk driving and killed somebody. He's in jail for 4 years. So I just wanted to bring that up. The NBA, who can't love it? So on to our main topic today, when hopefully we'll have Jay Trev shortly. Have you text him?
I'll tell him to join.
I wait for him to come on. We're going to do NFL draft with Jay Trev here. And I have not seen the his stuff. So Jack hit
All
that.
right. So what I want to do though, like, who do you want the Patriots to? What do you want the Patriots to do? I want them to trade it. I don't
want
like
them to.
I don't know. I'm not a scout. I don't know anything about the quarterbacks. We'll ask Jay Trev what he wants them to do. He has a mock draft, which I don't know if this mock draft is what he wants to do
or what he thinks,
or what he thinks is going to happen. So we'll have to ask him that. But I want them to trade it.
I shout. One of the custodians of school, Ryan, is a big fan. He's watching, and I told him to give him a shout out today. And he thinks if you're going to build for the future, to make a good solid team, you got to trade down and get assets, because that's one of the questions. Trade capital is big at 3, and if you're not completely sold on May, or not completely on any of the quarterbacks that could be there, you trade down and live with it for a year. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. They should have gone after Justin Fields or something. But I really think the chatter now has been they're going to trade down. Now, again, that chatter could change in 2 days. But I would accumulate as many assets, because if Minnesota and Oakland and Las Vegas want a quarterback, they're going to give you capital for your pick. And then you build your team from the ground up, and then get a veteran quarterback who can be serviceable, who's not Mac Jones or not the other freaking idiot they had there. Whatever the guy's name. Maybe you get lucky and get a Brock Purdy, but that's what I think. And he has not called in yet, so I'm waiting to see him bump up. But that's what I believe. It's hard to pass, but the number 2 pick a couple years just got traded to Denver for a 6th round pick and eating the money, and that's Mr. Wilson. And the Patriots dropped Mac Jones for nothing as well. Josh Fields got traded for nothing, and again, it's a crapshoot. Draft a quarterback that early is a crapshoot. Here he is now. Let me bring him in. So we're going to welcome in. I just admitted him. Where is he?
Unbelievable.
There he is. All right. Justin's connecting. This is awesome. Live.
All right. You never let me make the point here, but while we're waiting for Jay Trev, I was going to say about why trading the pick. It's like they could draft Patrick Mahomes and they still wouldn't make the playoffs next year.
Right.
It's like it's so far away. And again, if you're not sold on the quarterback, you're not sold on the quarterback. So it looks like Jay Trev's having a little.
Jay Trev, don't you have
he unmuted. He unmuted.
There he is. Jay Trev, look at this. I'm rocking the 01887 shirt. Your buddy Dennis Ingram gave me this one.
So, I need to get one of those. You impressive, rocking all this new gear.
It's just brand new.
All right.
I'm
rocking my Colts.
I got the Colts. All right. Well, Jay Trev, we've teased everybody about this mock draft of yours. Jack had a couple questions to me early. Jack, why don't we ask those questions to him first?
Well, I'm gonna question him through his draft. I'm sure he has it up. But so we obviously, number one, we don't even have to talk about it. We'll say real quick thoughts on Caleb Williams. I know. Now, wait, we had to ask before we started this. Is this mock draft what you think or like what you want? Like, is
what I think?
Okay, so then.
Okay, so we get 2 answers from you then.
So then the question is, do you think Caleb Williams is the number 1 pick?
Yes, but I think it's a 1A and 1B situation. I don't think it's as clear cut and as a sizable gap as some people say.
Is that the clear gap between 1 and 2, or quarterback 1 and quarterback 2?
Quarterback 1 and quarterback 2.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm really high on May. I think he's got some traits that I think will serve him better at the next level than even it did at UNC. And part of his career playing in an offensive scheme like Phil Longo's, where it's not the most translatable to the NFL. I think at the next level he could be even better. Some of his traits that he has.
And what is holding him back at this point, Drake May?
I mean, consistency, game to game. He can get a little sporadic with his accuracy, but a lot of that's mechanical related. So I think that's something that can be coached. But in terms of, playmaking ability off the script and on script, inside the pocket and outside, I think he's someone that, you can build around.
Can he step in and play right away?
Yeah. Yep. Now, not without hiccups. I mean, there's probably going to
Oh,
be
they're
a
gonna have hiccups.
yeah.
Could he be the Wilson of the draft?
Yeah, I think I mean like you do like starter bust star. I'd probably put bust at like 10 15
Okay,
percent.
that's it. I'd take that. So
Yeah.
I assume if you have him as your number 1 and
Oh,
1A, what? Go Jay.
wait, there's a lot. So there's a lot to unpack there with what he just said, because now we're going to get into like he's going to disagree with his mock draft, because number 2, you have the Commanders taking Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Why? Do you think they like him more than May?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm kind of falling guilty of, paying attention to a lot of the, what's being phrased out there.
Yeah.
But it seems like him and the Commanders have kind of been connected throughout a lot of the process. And I think the Commanders could look to someone with um I'm not gonna say Daniels is a safer pick because I don't think he is, but I think some teams view him like that because of his you know, his accuracy outside the numbers and also his scrambling ability. But
Huh.
yeah, I think May is a better quarterback.
So
So
then,
So then, wait, no, going on now. So you have what he has at 3 is he has the Patriots trading it to the Vikings, and the Vikings taking Drake May. Now you would disagree with that as a Patriot. You would want the Patriots to take May there, right? You wouldn't want them to trade it.
yeah, if the Pats, I mean, here's the thing though. I think it has to be process oriented. So if the Pats, if Elliott Wolf and the staff, if they're not high on May, then you don't take them just to take them. Like you trade out of that pick because you get this pick wrong, it sets you back probably the entirety of the rookie contract, which is 4 years. So you got to follow your process. You got to stick to what you believe in. And if they don't like the guy who's there at 3, whether it's May or Daniels or even JJ, Kevin's guy, I think you got to trade out of it.
hey, question on Daniels. So we had the bust. We had the bust on May at 10%. Was that what you said? 10.
Yeah, I
What's the
maybe
bust on Daniels and on Williams?
Williams, I would go. I think Williams has a little bit of a bigger bust potential
I
because
yeah.
of intangibles. Um, but like his ceiling to me is higher. But I
Okay.
think some of his intangibles where, I don't know if he thinks he's like this businessman or I don't
Oh
like
yeah.
I just think he's a little self-centered, which it might not be the worst thing. I mean, like clearly it's gotten him to where he is, but if he starts prioritizing that stuff over football, he's gonna fall behind, his own learning curve a little bit. So I'd probably put Caleb at like 20%
Yeah.
and put Daniels at about 30,
So
35.
Daniels the lowest floor, and Williams the highest ceiling. That's what you're saying. Or is May's the
Yes.
highest ceiling? Who's got the higher ceiling, May or Williams?
I think May.
Okay.
I think May.
So why are we trading the pick?
I mean, the Pats are far away.
Yes.
So if they're not in love with the quarterback, I think you accumulate assets. And in this projected trade, what did I go 3 to 11? So it would be 11-23, and that's not enough based on trade value charts and
They'll get a first rounder
example.
for 2025, I think,
So
right?
they'd get a first rounder at 25. So I mean, in my mock draft, I didn't do this, but they could even package, they could kind of move up and down the board, and they could even package, a couple picks to move back up to say 5 or 6 and maybe get Daniels or McCarthy or whoever's there.
Right.
If they don't like the guy in all 3, but then a few picks go by and they're like, hey, he's still sitting there, like there's that chance too.
Okay,
So
since we're talking about quarterbacks, what Jack?
I gotta say, so Jay Tripp's so high on Drake May that that's one of these things I'll never forget. It's like when he said, like, I never forget Andy Reid would like never win a Super Bowl. This is one of those like if Drake May's a bust, I'll never forget this. I'll never forget Jay Trev like being in love with him. I'm huge on Caleb Williams. Like I think he's kind of like he's off-putting personally. I'm sure he's horrible like to be around and all that, but I think he's going to be a great quarterback. So that's my take on these 3 quarterbacks is that Caleb Williams is going to be Hall of Fame.
yeah, I hope if Caleb Williams is a Hall of Famer, the Bears are in a good spot, and that's good. We need the Bears doing well this year.
So we have the 3 quarterbacks. I know we have 3 receivers, and we'll talk about them in a second. What's the gap between the third quarterback and the fourth quarterback, and who all needs quarterbacks if the Patriots trade down? So Minnesota would take
So
third; they need one. And
so
who else?
Las Vegas, but they're picking what are they picking at? They're picking at 13. So
So could they, if the Patriots get 11 and whatever, what, Jack?
Wait, did you ask him the difference between the third and the fourth quarterback? Because I
yeah,
missed this. So the third and the fourth quarterback. The thing is, now we have his mock draft. We have to go to J Trev's big board because J Trev
hmm
has a different third ranked quarterback than you would imagine.
yep,
So
and
he's
that's
got McCarthy ahead of Daniels.
yep,
Okay.
yep. JJ's my
So
third quarterback.
so okay, let's rephrase. So let's say McCarthy is picked by somebody picks May and the Patriots want it May, and but Minnesota wants to move up or Vegas wants to move up and they can make a deal and they get, let's say they go to 11. Would Daniels drop to 11?
I
So
don't see it.
no, okay, he's going to get picked. Somebody is going to move up ahead.
I think so. Yeah, I don't. I
Okay.
mean, I guess the situation could play out, but I just think there's a few too many needy teams that
All right, so
jump ahead.
Jack had asked about, I think the trade capital might be more important right now for this team than anything else because it's a new regime. You pick a quarterback and it's a bust, you're done for 5 years. I don't understand why they go after a guy like Fields or even Russell Wilson because he was free. But that's neither here nor there. So we're at 3 and we got the 3 quarterbacks are gone. So who's you got at 4 then, Jack?
Well, four, he could say. I mean, he is the guy that I think he has a number one on his big board. Everyone probably agrees he's best in the draft, right? So he has Marvin Harrison Jr. there. Jay Trev, why? I mean, you think he's the best player in the draft? Obviously, he's a receiver. You can't take him one, all that sort of stuff. But you think he's
Yeah,
probably the least bust potential for doing that sort of thing?
right. That's why I put him at number one because I think he's a comparable prospect to say he's probably the best one to me since Julio Jones. Whereas Caleb Williams, I don't think he's as I would say safe or of a
The
guarantee.
floor is a little
But
lower on him. He could drop.
yes,
Okay.
right. But if Caleb hits because he's a quarterback and that positional value, like he's
Right.
easily the number one prospect. But on my board, I just put Marv there because I do think day one, he's the safest and the biggest guarantee, and I think he's the best receiver prospect in at least 10 years.
And 4 is Arizona, and Arizona needs receivers. Right.
Right. I think that'd be a perfect
I'm going to
fit.
ask a really off the wall question here. The one team right now who needs receivers, and they are a competitive team, is Buffalo. And there are a lot
Yep.
of good receivers in this draft, but they're never going to drop that far. Would Buffalo ever make an opportunity to get up to get Neighbors or Ozune or Harrison? Do they have the capital to do that? And would it make
I
sense?
I don't think it would make sense because of all the players they've lost in free agency. They've kind of
Okay.
done a little bit of a reset here around
Yes.
Allen.
Okay.
And I think they need as many assets as they can to kind of build that back up.
All right. So you got Harrison at 4, and then 5. If there's no trade, it's the Vikings pick. Who's got at 5, Jack?
The Vikings, you mean it's the Raiders, not the Raiders. You have it's the Chargers pick. J True has the Raiders
Chargers.
trading for it, right? So J True has Harbaugh trading the pick to the Raiders.
Oh, he's not picking McCarthy, please, dear God.
The Raiders franchise quarterback Jeff Kreitzer will be watching JJ McCarthy. So J Trev, Kevin's blowing a gasket right now. He's probably been blowing a gasket for like 5 minutes. Listen to this because you had said McCarthy was over JT Daniels. What do you like so much about McCarthy? Because you're one of the you clearly agree with like Zolak and all this. You must have loved his pro day.
Yeah, so just to start, I think those, and this isn't a shot at Kevin or anyone specific. I think those who set McCarthy at that Michigan called the offense because of McCarthy's limitations. I think that's absolutely asinine. Jim Harbaugh has a way that he likes to play. They had a great running game. They had a great offensive line. They play in the Big Ten. They were the most physical team in the country. They can win that. They didn't need J.J. McCarthy going up there and throwing 30 times a game. So first of all, I think that's a terrible, terrible argument. That proves nothing. Second, I think McCarthy's intangibles are the best in the draft. I think Harbaugh, when he talks about McCarthy, I think, he's a little over the top about it. But at the same time, like NFL teams are really high on his intangibles. You get him in a meeting room, you get him behind closed doors as a leader, on the whiteboard, whatever questions you ask him, I think he's got that it factor. He's a winner. He's tough. And I just think intangibly and quarterback, obviously you need a lot of natural talent. You need to be able to make the throws, be an athlete. But I think quarterback, if you don't have the intangibles, you can forget about it. Zach Wilson, there you go.
I'll compare him
But-
to Mr. Intangible, winner, everything. He quarterbacked here. His name was Mac Jones. He's out
No.
because he didn't have physical skills.
No,
How
Mac
can you not
Jones
compare?
did-
You just said intangibles, right? And to
Mac,
me, intangibles.
how?
No, you don't think Mac Jones?
No. Mac was a crybaby. Like,
Well, how do you know JJ's not gonna be a crybaby?
yeah, I mean you don't, but that's just my opinion.
That's fine. I just wanted to give you a hard time.
Can I just say, like, so you went through the play aspect of him and like the terrible take of argue like, oh, he didn't do anything at Michigan. Like, I think Kevin and me also, we don't rate him at all as a quarterback in general. But you also talked about intangibles. The thing with like Kevin is like he hates him. Forget football. Like if he were just a person, Kevin would hate him.
Yeah.
He brushes his teeth with his left hand. He does all this blah blah blah. He kind of, and it's like in a leader type of way. He kind of seems like a little bit of a phony. Like he's a try hard, but like I know being a try hard's like it's being a try hard's good and all, but he's kind of so
write that down and try hard.
He can run people the wrong way.
Listen, he played under Harbaugh. I'm sure. I mean, Harbaugh I would describe as somewhat of a try hard, so some of it probably wore off on him.
Try
But,
hard. Try hard ass. That's what he is.
Right? Yeah, I know.
Should I go get my Harbaugh hat?
You're not a big Harbaugh guy, I know. But Harbaugh, I don't think he'd just be throwing bouquets just to throw him because he was he got him to 2 straight playoffs. I think he seriously, loved the kid, like as a person. Like I think.
Do you think the Chargers with that pick would take JJ McCarthy? Really?
No, they're trading it to the Raiders.
On the Raiders will say, okay, that's right.
Raiders.
Chargers trained the Raiders. But he coaches the Chargers. They don't need a quarterback.
Right.
Okay.
Right. They don't
So
need
the Minnesota's left holding the bag.
Minnesota. They're taking May at 3.
Oh, they're trading the page. Okay, I got you. Now I'm confused. Jack, give me the printout.
Well, I went
Jack, let me see your printout.
So, well, now we can go through. We don't have to go pick by
blind.
pick. We can go through a little bit. Jacob's got.
Wait,
go.
Can I just say a couple more things on McCarthy? Just because
Let's go.
Say as much as you want.
Honestly. McCarthy love, baby, because this is we're keeping this forever, baby. If he sucks, you're never gonna hear them. Just like Damian Lillard sucks, you're not hear them.
No, that's fine. But you can torture him though. I'm fine with that. I got two quick stats on JJ. Okay.
Yeah.
48%. JJ McCarthy converted 48% of his 3rd and 4th down drop back passes. That's not the percentage of passes he completed. 48% is the downs that he converted. Now you translate that to the NFL. You translate that to college. 48% on 3rd down is good anywhere. But then you compare it to the other 3 quarterbacks in this class. 48% better than those guys. Better than Caleb. Better than May, who we described as these playmakers.
Jack,
so on money downs, JJ McCarthy is a money player.
Yeah, but hold up though. Didn't you say that he was playing on like the most physical team in the country?
Thank you.
He played behind like 6 NFL offensive linemen.
Jack, 48% of 3rd and 4th down dropbacks.
Okay, cool. What was Caleb Williams?
How many times did he run the football on his dropback?
The number? How much better? Yeah, but
how
42, 35, 45? That's all. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have that really.
Look at Charlie.
Oh.
And quickly, the second other stat is in high school, his record was 36-2. In college,
he lost twice.
In college, his record was 27-1. He's a winner.
That's bad for him though. 36-2 means he lost twice in high school. I don't want my guys losing at all in high school. LeBron actually lost in high school. Remember that? He lost.
Okay, so we know that you think JJ McCarthy is better than Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
And that's good. That's why we have him there, because we'll bring this after the draft. We'll come back and look at it. That's great. And I know you're bringing up the intangible. So you think May is better than him because his intangibles, because of size, it works. Hey, there he is now. Tommy Trev just walks by. Look at, here he comes. Tommy Trev. Look at that guy. All right. We had an appearance of the dog and Tommy Trev. Tommy T, baby. Can you hear
Yeah,
it?
this is great. No, J Chubb. All right, J Chubb.
My
Real
idea,
quick.
shout out.
What did he say?
It's my idea, and he got shut out.
We'll do
Love
basketball.
you, Tommy.
Wait, no, Tommy T. Who's winning the finals? Real
Who's
quick.
winning the NBA Finals, Tommy T?
Denver.
Hey, how's your boy Damian Lillard? Scored 35 points the first half and sucks the bed in the second half. What the hell's wrong with him?
Huh?
Nothing. Just Damian Lillard. Tommy, we'll get you on next week.
The NBA sucks anyways.
I know. See you later. They get you on next
That
week.
was a great appearance.
All right, I'll talk to you guys.
All right,
Yeah.
buddy. That's gonna make my day.
All right, no, we got to keep going through this trap.
Go.
We don't have to stop everything. So 6 through 10, J-Trev has the Giants taking Neighbors. So you have him as the second receiver, I'm assuming. Actually, I don't know.
Nope.
You know what?
Nope.
Forget about the mock draft. That really doesn't matter. I want to go through J-Trev's big board. So J-Trev has a Dunze 4th. So you have a Dunze over Neighbors. Why?
Mhm.
I'm like you just,
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think Adunze, I think he can win at all 3 levels more effectively, and I think he's a little safer. I think Neighbors is the most explosive of the 3 top receivers, but I think a lot of his damage is yards after catch, which is a great skill to have in today's NFL. But I think that Odunze is a more well-rounded player, and I think he has experience in those high leverage moments this year in Washington, and you could see it. You could see him making plays in big time moments.
So
I do-
Dunze's the 6th, right? 6 on your draft board. So we have
4.
wide receiver, quarterback,
no.
Wide
Yeah,
receiver?
yeah.
and then
4.
quarterback. Okay. Oh,
No,
who's
let's just go through his top 10. We got to keep. We're gonna. So he has Adunze 4th. He has Joe Alt 5th. Brock Bowers. He has 6th. He's a Brock Bowers guy. Neighbors. He has 7th. Alu Fashano. He has 8th. Who he has the Patriots getting at 11. I like that pick for the patch. You get the capital. You get the tackle. Obviously, J. Trev has him 8th to get him at 11th. That's good
that's the kid
value.
from Penn State, right?
No, that's yeah.
Yep.
No, yeah. Isn't Alt? Where's Alt from?
No, also
Notre
from Notre Dame.
Yeah, okay. Fashanu I watched him play one game for Fashanu, the kid on Penn State. I think it was against
Ohio State.
It was Ohio State. He got roasted the whole game, like annihilated for 4 quarters.
That was his worst game on tape.
Right or left tackle is he? Or is just
Left.
what left?
Left. He probably has some positional flexibility. Play right.
All right.
Then he had McCarthy 9th and Dallas Turner 10th. I don't even know who's Dallas Turner.
The edge for Bama.
Alabama. Okay, yeah. Terry and Arnold, that's an Alabama guy. You have Quinion Mitchell above him. Amarius Mims, Jaden Daniels 14th, Troy Fontano 15th, and then my guy Jared Verse 16th. He didn't move up that much, but we were watching the game here together. Was it against Florida where he just took over the game in the second half? I'm a Jared Verse guy. You think what is he undersized, slow? What's his deal?
No, I just think top end stuff. He's probably not as bendy as that you'd like, but I just think I think has a really high floor. I just don't know about is he going to be like a 12, 13, 14 sack guy a season? I don't know, but he can be an every down player, good against the run, 8 sacks a year. I think's his floor. So I like him as a prospect.
So that's your top 10. I'm going to just turn it over like to the Patriots because we're New England.
Right.
If they make the trade, they're going to get what and what from Minnesota. If it's Minnesota, what do they get?
11, 23, and then assuming a first or next year too.
Right. And so 11, who would you think if Jaden Daniels is drops like that, and I don't think he will, would they go at 11 and pick him, or would they continue along the thought process that we're going, maybe somebody else needs a quarterback, maybe they trade that pick and add 2 or 3 more picks because they draw capital. Where do they draw the line? And we don't know because Wolf, who knows what he's going to do.
Right.
And in Mayo, who the hell knows what he's going to do? And Kraft might say I want the quarterback. So they might already have May or Daniels on their number, and they're going to take him because that's what Kraft wants to do.
Right.
Is there enough talent at between 10 and 24 on your board? Like who's his 23rd ranked player on the board, Jack? Who do you have
20th ranked player? He has
23rd.
Graham 23rd. Graham Barton's 20th. 23rd. We'll do 24th because I wanted to ask about this guy. We got a white cornerback coming to the NFL. Cooper DeJean, right?
Yep.
So that was his 24th. I wasn't listening to you guys.
Cooper DeJean.
Do the Patriots go that route, or do they just continue to build what they need to build? Maybe an offensive line, where their strength, because they're not out of strength. So my question is, if they make the trade and they take the beating on not taking a quarterback, what are the players they need to take that'll make not just the fans happy, but the front office will be happy? What positions would they be looking at making the trade? Because you don't need a wide receiver, you don't have a quarterback, right?
No,
But
right.
you need an offensive line if you're going to take a quarterback. So they're sort of in the conundrum like that. So what are the needs? What are the Patriots? What are the two biggest needs the Patriots have?
Well, quarterback, obviously.
I know that. Forget the quarterback.
Left tackle, 100%, I think, has to be the pick, especially with all the value in the top half of the first round this year. I think there's
nobody at 3 that'd be worth taking yet, right? Left tackle.
I think 3 would be a little too high for Joe Wall.
Well, what about taking Marv at 3? Are you totally against that?
No, I'm not.
You'd be fine with that because you have a number. You say he's
Yeah.
probably gonna be best player in the class. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that if they have him that high on their board. Now, is it as sound as trading back, acquiring all those assets, and still getting a blue chip guy for your offense? A left tackle. It might not be as sound, but getting Marv in the mix will make whoever the quarterback's life easier.
So Jack,
wait. Basically, Trev's night on Thursday as a Patriots fan, no matter what they do, he's happy with all 3 situations.
Right.
He's happy with taking May or McCarthy. If they get Daniels, I guess he's not happy with that. That'd be the only thing. He's happy with Marv, and he's happy with trading down.
You would be happy with Daniels if they got Daniels like at 11?
Yeah, I think so. Assuming the process is good and they have them, around top 10 of their board.
Yeah, they're not going to get an 11, but that's okay.
Right. No.
So a specific draft question. Like in baseball, you never draft positionally. In football, you draft. They don't. If Kyle Teal's on the board, you don't.
That wasn't a reaction to you to that statement. That was a reaction to something I saw in his mock draft that I hadn't seen before that we are going to have to talk about.
Okay, so you will be in football, you're going to be position specific so that you fill the needs that your team needs, correct? So the best athlete available is Marvin Harrison, but he's definitely not going to go number 1 or 2 or 3.
Right. Okay. And that's that would probably be my third option, taking Marv at 3, just because even though you might be missing out on the best overall player in the draft, I think, resource and asset allocation, I think there's a few better options than that.
So it'll be an interesting night. The trend, I said to Jack, the trend seems to be they're going to trade the pick.
So I have a question for you guys.
Wait, before you ask this question, I just want to say, so the trade the pick thing, you have them getting the 11th pick, but they'd also get the 23rd pick from Minnesota, correct? Which Minnesota just traded for. So J-Trev has the Patriots making that trade, getting that pick. And at 23, J-Trev has the Patriots drafting Bo Nix.
Oh.
Jack, look at the big board.
Is he even on there? That's why I didn't see him on the big board.
He's not even in the top 50.
That's why I didn't even notice. That's why I didn't even notice that till now.
So that would be
I wasn't even thinking of him because he wasn't on the big board.
Is that a stretch then?
Yeah, I mean, it depends if the Pats view him as a decent prospect. Taking him in the first round and getting that extra year on his deal could be valuable. But if they're not, if they have a day 2 grade on him or late day 2, that won't be in the cards.
But they do need a quarterback, and if he's available, they like him, they'll take him.
I'm going to ask you guys this question. So they trade back. Where's the quarterback coming from? Do they stink again this year, and then they just wait till next year and grab one at the top?
I think that I'm going to say I think they hope that Jacoby Brissett's average, because they're not going to be good anyway. Even if they get Drake May, they're not going to be good. Football, you don't just Houston drafted a quarterback, but after they did everything else and they got good, right? Buffalo drafted the quarterback, but it took them 3 or 4 years of building everything else up to get better again. So I think if your goal would be, if you don't draft a quarterback, is you're building draft capital, building your base of your team, you're not going to be good enough. You're going to get a top 5 or 10 pick anyway. which now you have draft capital. If a quarterback's out there you like, you can trade for it next year. It's hard if you're as sold on a guy like Drake May, you can't pass him up. That's what I believe. So it really comes down to, you said it earlier, what their process is and what they think they want. That's how I look at it. I don't think they're going to be good anyway with whoever they bring in. It's a transition to a new coach, a guy who's never coached before. It's an owner who's very meddling, and I don't think it's just a recipe for disaster. And it's like Dallas bringing in Brad Garrett. Is that who was the coach?
Jason Garrett.
Jason Garrett. Brad Garrett's the guy who was on Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yep.
And he does those Jimmy John's commercials or whatever the stupid thing is. But I think that's your issue now: is a new coach and a new quarterback and no talent. You're gonna fail. So
Right.
I agree with you. I think they're better off trading down and building draft capital. Jack, what do you think?
Yeah, they're going to suck next year, no matter. Like I said before, you got on they could draft. I mean, they could draft Joe Montana. They'd suck next year. So I said they could draft Patrick Mahomes. They'd suck next year. So even if you draft a quarterback, like you draft Drake May, you play him the whole year, that could almost hurt him with how bad they are. They got no talent. So again, if you're super sold on the quarterback, you take them. But I just wouldn't. I think they're going to suck no matter what next year.
Okay, so here's a good question for you, Jess. You guys are young, but what was the most influential top 5 pick Patriots ever made? Most influential.
Bledsoe, because he got hurt and it helped.
Bledsoe because he transformed the team into a winning team. But Parcells took Bledsoe first, and Meyer from Notre Dame was supposed to be intangible, all that other bullshit. Better. So it was a great athlete versus Mr. Intangible at Notre Dame. And Parcells took the big gun quarterback, which is where you look at it, the big gun quarterback over the intangible. Drake May is over both those guys then. Right? So that's why I think that was a transformational pick. It took Parcells from mediocrity to they made a Super Bowl, and it just happened he get hurt and Brady stepped in. But you don't get Tom Brady's every year. You don't ever get Tom Brady ever again. Even though Brock Purdy made a Super Bowl, he still shit the bed when he had to shit the bed in the Super Bowl. He couldn't win a Super Bowl. So I just think it's going to be hard to pass up. If you believe that May or Daniels is the guy, I don't think they pass him up.
Have to take him, because
So
you never know if you're gonna be this high again. That's the issue. That's the one issue I have with trading back.
right,
So,
I totally agree.
what if you stink next year, but what if you have the 7th or 8th pick? You're not as in good of a spot. I mean, I guess you can trade up with the extra pick you got, but it's just not
Right.
You never know.
You could be like Carolina and suck and have to give up your pick.
Yep. Right.
So if you take Minnesota's pick and Minnesota's going to pick that quarterback, that doesn't mean Minnesota's going to make playoffs. Minnesota, that pick might come to fruition for you. Just like if the Raiders, if you trade with the Raiders, I think you have a better shot than if you trade with Minnesota. And Raiders, new quarterback, new coach, everything new, a new coach who Peter Principle is way to the top. All of a sudden this guy's he's a coach now. This guy's a special teams coordinator. He's your head coach because everybody likes him. That's a disaster. So maybe that's the thought process: is we can get somebody next year who we might get top 2 pick. I don't even know who's coming out next year. Everything's changing, but I think your point, J. Trev, is you're so on point with if the process says to pick him, you pick him. If you want to pick him, you're going to take him. If not, you're going to trade down. Simple.
Right.
Simple.
Yep.
Anything else on the draft there, Jackson?
No, I mean, like you talking about the Bills trading up. He had the Bills at 28 taking a receiver, Adonai Mitchell. Kansas City trading to the Falcons. Did that already happen? Or is that something they had them? The Falcons trading into the first round, the last pick to get Penix. That's all we went through all the quarterbacks he had. Any guys like that are kind of late first rounders that you're like big on?
Good question.
I like the Marshawn Nealon kid from Western Michigan. I'm pretty high on him. I think he's got some really projectable traits. He's got the frame, the long arms, and he's got the rush and against the run versatility. And he's also big enough to kick inside too on certain downs. So I think he has a chance to be a really productive player. Mike Sanderstill from Michigan, who I have on my big board, pride of Everett, Mass. I think he's a Swiss Army knife in the secondary. I was talking about JJ McCarthy's intangibles. He might have not even had the best intangibles on the team. Jim Harbaugh loved Mike Sanistro. He was a 5-year player, 3-year captain, played his first 3 years on offense, played his last 2 on defense, started every game. The issue with him is he might be a touch under 5'10", so he projects to be a slot-only guy. But I think you play him in nickel. He could even play some safety for you. I think he's really versatile, and he has a chance to. I didn't have him in the first round in this mock, but I think he has a chance to find himself there. So he's one of my favorite guys.
When do you think the first running back gets taken? Third, fourth round? Does it really matter?
Probably late second, somewhere between.
It'll be late, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably after 50 though.
Okay, so not there's no OJ Simpsons out there.
No, well, for a multitude.
OJ Simpson who can slice through a hole better than anybody.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Yeah.
Did you know his nickname was Juice because OJ? Who said that at home, Jack? Say it, man.
Nobody did.
Come
I
on.
hope we don't have another OJ Simpson.
Yeah, no, there's hope. But not true. No, those are good. Yeah, no. J Trev is our draft expert. Answers all the picks. We'll enjoy Thursday night. Unfollowed Adam Schefter, blocked him. Everything. Is like Shams, whatever. Is he going to be tweeting the draft picks too? Do I have to get rid of him?
He's not. I think he was doing that last year.
I'm not too worried.
Talk about try hard. That's
it's almost the most boring television in the history of television. The first round.
It's awful. It is awful. But it's going to be an interesting night for the Patriots' interest. So one of the more interesting drafts I can remember for Patriots.
Jay Trev with update on where he's working now. Jay Trev, give us update. I know you moved to a new environment.
Yeah, I'm back at the alma mater, University of New Hampshire, up in Durham. New player personnel guy over there. Their guy left to pursue another FCS job, so I had known a few of the coaches in the past, so there was an opportunity to come back and hit the ground running, and doing a little more, in terms of transfer portal and, in terms of scouting more than I was doing at Harvard. So it's a nice gradual step up, and the thing I got going on right now. So, excited to be back at the alma mater, and things are going well so far. So.
Since your dad picked Denver, who's the biggest challenge for the Celtics to win the championship this year?
I would probably say Milwaukee with Giannis. The East, like, you just go down the list. Like,
I know.
You can't find a team. I mean,
we did that earlier in the podcast. So I'm going to ask that question. Do you tell your dad he's full of crap? Thinks Denver. You know why he likes Denver, don't you?
No. He just doesn't want he doesn't want the Celtics to win. It's simple as that. I mean,
that's true.
Here's the thing: like, the Celtics, far and away the best team in the NBA, historical. I don't know, the exact stats, but have to be a top 10, 15 regular seasons, team of all time. Like, but I still worry about the things that have haunted them in the past. So I hope some of those trends, it's not going to hurt them against Milwaukee. Knock on wood, I hope, but. Down the road in the Eastern Conference Finals and NBA Finals, if they get there.
You mean against Miami, not Milwaukee?
Right. Yeah. Like, things fourth quarter, the game gets tight.
Yeah, but you know what? They said that.
The biggest difference about that is they don't have a guy. Jay Tripp's going to hate this, but they don't have a guy like Tatum Brown can struggle in those times, but they don't have a guy who like treats the ball like a grenade in those situations anymore either. I'm not going to say his name because I like the guy, but.
Yeah, we'll see.
They have a guy on their team, like they would have beat 2 years ago. They would have beat the Bucks in 6 if this guy didn't just do some of the stupidest stuff in the last couple seconds.
He played at Oklahoma State,
and Drew Holiday pantsed them.
Did he play at Oklahoma State?
Yes, yeah, he did.
He was a Cowboy.
Yeah.
The other thing is they were talking about that. JJ Redick actually had a good point, and I actually admit I like JJ's pretty good on the broadcast. He takes care of the Doris Burke bullshit I got to listen to. But he made a good. What are you shaking your head for?
He likes Doris. Doris is washed.
I love Doris. Well, you think she's falling?
So
yeah. She's too She's like, look, I don't know. I don't think like I feel like she doesn't watch as much basketball or something. I don't know. She says stupid things.
Finish up, Jim. Sorry to disrespect you by.
That's okay. So JJ Redick made a point that they're quote unquote clutch situations. They're not as bad as people think they are. It's just that when they're bad, they look bad. So they were
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 instances where they were bad. They've only had like 10 clutch situations all year out of 82 games. So,
Right.
I think that's coaching. Jack disagrees with me. If they spread the floor against anybody and they
Yeah, but
consistently
it's
spread the floor
coaching.
against
Sure,
everybody.
we'll go coaching. But J-Trip said the problems they had in the past. He wasn't just referring to last year. He was
I
referring
know,
to
but
the year before that as
I know.
well.
The clogged toilet offense is
It
going
was a different
back to
coach.
Paul Pierce.
It
But
goes to the players. It goes to the players.
if they spread the coach for one more thing, if they spread the floor, nobody can beat them. Put Porzingis in the middle, nobody can beat them. There are defenses. But coaching, because Nick Nurse shit the bed last night as well, even though he didn't get the timeout, coaching has everything to do with it. Maxey's touching the ball and not Embiid. And we talked about this earlier.
Again, like I said, Nick Nurse is regarded as like one of the best coaches in the NBA.
And he did a shitty job.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'm all fired up now about Nick Nurse. I don't need to be.
We're good here. We don't need to keep
We're
talking
good.
about
I do have my little boils down on mug that Kevin wants, but Kevin, you're not getting one because they're mine.
Oh, I do need one of those.
Everyone needs. I only got 3. The studio gave me 3, so they give me 3 through CTV. All right. So J Trev, Jack, do you have anything else? Last words, Jack.
No, I'm very excited for this draft, and also he probably will. When Kevin watches that J Trev little
he'll love it.
soliloquy about
He'll love it.
McCarthy,
I'll
he's
try to
gonna lose his mind.
I'll
It's
see if I
gonna
can
be
get this up tomorrow.
hilarious.
I know we will.
Hilarious.
We'll see.
Like I almost might like send him the timestamp and be like, "Can you record yourself?"
We have to try to get this up by Thursday at 2. Me and I can edit when we're done. J Trev, any last
What
words?
do you mean Thursday by 2? If it's not by Thursday by 2, what do
I
you
have
do?
to. It's just about. I don't have time. I got a game tomorrow night. I
You
gotta
got
get
it
done.
tomorrow at 2. Tomorrow at 2.
I'll do the best I can.
All right.
J
Yeah,
Trev.
just hope you guys enjoy the draft Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Super Bowls aren't one in
Friday,
April.
Saturday.
Saturday can be.
That's the J Trev crew day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Dylan Lobby, UNH, he'll be there. But Super Bowls aren't one in April. Not really breaking news there, but they're important. The draft's probably the most important team building thing there is. The draft kind of sets the foundation. So it's gonna be a big day for a lot of teams, big weekend, and I'm excited to see who the Pats come out with, who Colts come out with, and how the first round looks. So
Okay, it's perfect. He is our draft expert, our NFL expert, everything expert. J Trev, Justin Trevisani, with a cameo appearance by Charlie. Is that Charlie? Is that the name of the dog?
yeah, he's chilling.
Charlie is chilling, and also by the
Out.
Miss Tommy T. Come on,
I think Tommy T. Did Tommy T. let him in to kind of like
Must have.
feel it a little bit, and then
Tommy T
came in. Tommy T came in like a minute after the dog came in. It was perfect.
I should have put a bet in on that. I knew that was coming.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, time to wrap it up. It was great.
This isn't my fault. He called you out, by the way. You have to start doing the podcast with him again.
I know.
By Zoom.
I'm a busy man. I got a team to coach.
All right.
I told my team, I shot my team. They're 0-5. I'm not happy with them. They got to play better. I'm shouting you out if you watch. So again, J Trev, thanks for joining us. We'll get you back. We'll get everybody on. Jack Boyle, thanks for joining. You're always with me. Goddamn, I got to listen to yell at me all the time. So for episode 36 of It All Boils Down to This, I'm Jim Boyle, and we'll see you on down the road. Thanks for listening to this episode of It All Boils Down to This, recorded at WCTV studios in our hometown of Wilmington, Massachusetts. We're always open to any ideas, critiques, topics, and guests. So if anyone out there in podcast world needs to get a hold of us, we can be reached via email at jboyle22@comcast.net. Along with Jack Boyle, I'm Jim Boyle. Make sure to tune in to the next edition of It All Boils Down to This.